People with strong personalities are natural leaders. They are direct, confident, and go after what they want. And those are qualities other people can't help but admire. On the other hand, it's important to be aware of how your personality may affect other people. Number 1. You know what you want and you go for it. Your stubbornness and a clear vision of your dream life drive you to make even the impossible possible. You're a natural dream chaser and nothing can stand between you and your goals. Your unwavering commitment to your goals can make some uncomfortable, especially if they're not as driven as you. Also, when you take risks for the sake of your dreams, you intimidate some people who are content at embracing the stability and predictability of their lives. But the dream chasing gets more intense. Number 2, you have strong opinions. If you're unafraid to voice your opinions, you can bet you have a strong personality. You can also bet on people getting intimidated by you. Strong opinions can make the people around you uncomfortable, especially if they have a different point of view and dislike confrontation. Sometimes, no matter how respectful you try to express them, your strong viewpoints make others uneasy, preventing them from voicing out their own. Number 3. You up the ante. Unsurprisingly, a strong personality like yours will not rest even after you've reached your goal. Once you've reached point A, you will create another dream, going for points B, C, D, E, even up to point Z. And there's a good reason people are intimidated by your unending quest. They feel like you're constantly raising the stakes to taunt them into competing with you. But here's the thing. Strong personality types keep moving the goalpost to achieve their best self. From their point of view, their only competition is themselves and no one else. Number 4, you're a solution seeker. When faced with a problem, you have no time for anything but finding a solution. Here's the thing. The problem solver can often intimidate and irritate some people. Why? Because sometimes it highlights their own weakness or inability to find the solution themselves. But here's what they don't realize. Not finding the solution does not always mean failure, but not trying does. You're not problem solving to upstage them. You're doing it for the greater good. A strong personality does not give up on a problem until it's solved. Number 5, you don't suck up. People-pleasing is not in your vocabulary if you have a strong personality. It's simple. You don't need someone else's validation or approval because you're confident in your abilities. Meanwhile, this level of self-confidence can intimidate others for a few possible reasons. They have low self-esteem. Their brains are wired to think that getting ahead requires scratching a few backs. They're simply lazy and would rather kiss ass than exert effort. Their childhood traumas taught them that people-pleasing behaviors are the only way to avoid conflict. Take note, a person with a strong personality focuses on kicking ass, not kissing it. Number 6, you're your own master. You don't suck up, so it makes sense that you also don't depend on others to decide for you. Instead, you make your own choices, and you own up to whatever their consequences may be. Being independent is an admirable trait, but it's sometimes intimidating, especially in relationships. Here's why. Your partner feels more secure in a relationship when they feel needed. So imagine how intimidated they must feel when you don't turn to them for advice or support. They're probably feeling useless with a constant fear of being abandoned. Number 7. You're direct. A huge part of navigating social situations is knowing what to say to whom and when. It's so often the case that people beat around the bush, looking for the perfect time and way to say what they have to say. But if you're very direct, you're different from most people. If you're quick to the point and don't mince your words, people might find your directness surprising. While some will find your honest and efficient communication a breath of fresh air, other people might find themselves seriously intimidated. But in either case, they'll agree that you have a strong personality with your ability to say what you mean and not pull any punches. Number 8. You have a strong sense of self. Do you feel like you know exactly who you are, where you've come from, and where you're going? Do you know what you want and know how to get it? It sounds like you have a very strong sense of self and supreme self-confidence. For people who don't, this in itself is intimidating. People who have this strong sense of their own self-worth can't hide it. They demonstrate it in their posture, their speech, and how they interact with others. Sometimes, though, this makes the people they interact with feel their own lack of confidence really acutely, and that can make them feel intimidated or not good enough. Number 9, you're relentless. If you're full of energy and motivation, it can be a lot for other people to handle. Some people are just relentless. Once they get a target in their sights, they move toward it without stopping or being diverted. They always keep going no matter what obstacles they find in their way because they have a strength that other people lack. Maybe you're one of these people who has no concept of the words, give up. You should understand, though, that this relentlessness that you possess can make other people feel intimidated. They can feel hunted or pursued or simply cowed by your overwhelming determination to get where you're going. Number 10. People suck up to you. Do you find that people are always trying to get on your good side? If so, it's a good indication that you have a strong personality that intimidates other people. Often, people's reaction to someone they find intimidating is to try and ingratiate themselves. That's when you may see real-life examples of the people-pleasing behavior I talked about earlier, as the person tries to get in your good books. If this happens to you a lot, it may be hard to notice, as you will probably have gotten used to it as just the way things are. But ask yourself, do the people around you often defer to you and look to you to tell them what to do? If so, they might be intimidated by you. Number 11. You call people out when they are wrong. Have you found yourself wondering why people are so stupid? It's not a particularly nice thought, but there are times, both in real life and online, when we find ourselves wondering just why people have the off-base opinions that they do. Unfortunately, we live in a golden age of misinformation, and it's never been easier for people to get the wrong end of the stick. Plus, these days, we are all told that we have to have an opinion on every subject, with the result that people who know nothing about what they are talking about won't hesitate to tell you what they think. For the sake of politeness, many people won't point out to someone else when they are wrong. But those with strong personalities will. That's because, since you don't care all that much what other people think, you don't mind them thinking you are rude for calling them out when they are wrong.